Hi, I'm Denise Gagne. I'm here to do a quick overview of the learning modules for August week 2, our back to school lessons. Not everybody starts in August. So Augusts are kind of extras, but I'm going to go over them here. So pre-K, back to school lesson 2. There's our outline. We've got an about me. We start with welcome, welcome everyone. That's the welcome song for all of August. So it'll be in all August lessons. Then I have a little what if or how to. How to. How do you enter the music room? Where do you sit? How will we make lineups to leave? You need to think those things through if you're a young teacher and decide how you want the kids to come in. Do you have a seating plan for them? How do they walk through the hallways? What if there's a fire drill or a lockdown or they need to use the restroom? In pre-K, save this one till the very last, because if one says they have to go, they all have to go. But discuss what they need to do. Preferably, you use a wet restroom. You wash your hands before you come into music. And then week 2, I introduced the music room rules. Pre-Ks can't read, so you read it to them and then discuss with them. It says up here, ask the students for examples, make good choices. What would be an example of a good choice? How could you show me that you're responsible? And ask the students for examples. How can they be nice and be kind? The story All Are Welcome here is given as an option if this is your first week of teaching your kids in August. If you've already taught the story and you want something new, go on to Sew Me in the Spider. Lovely little sound story by New Zealand author Student Mannins. Hands on Shoulders is a review from last week. Hands on shoulders, hands on head, and it's simply a little finger play, introduces body parts, but it also helps get those pre-Ks watching you and doing what you want them to do. Keep the Beat is a percussion play along. Little ones only clap, stamp, and pat. Echo Bobo. Bobo is my little tennis ball and he sings. If you have your own Bobo, skip this and do your own thing. All About Me is an option. You may have done it last week. You may not have time to do it. So it's optional if you choose to. Roly Poly, another little finger play. When the kids do this, finger plays are great because they enhance vocabulary. In this case, when we go up, 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 our voices will go up. When we go down, 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 our voices will go down. So your little ESL kids are learning through doing what those words mean, and it will really help expand their language. All your students in pre-K can use additional vocabulary and additional literacy materials. So here's me doing a demo of the movements. Wash your hands. Again, I suggest that you get your kids into the habit of washing their hands, having a drink, and using the restroom before they come to music. Alphabet song is familiar to most kids. So we have Z for American schools. If there happens to be a Canadian year-round school, there's the Z version. Play, play, play along is with instruments. You can give them whatever kind of instrument you wish, and they can play along with it. Optional if you have time, because this is a full lesson now. Play along with Six Little Ducks. And Skin-a-ma-rinky dinky dink is our goodbye song. So that is pre-K lesson 2 of August. If you don't start in August till lesson 3, that's okay. There'll be lots of repeat. Now I'm going on to kindergarten, and I'm going to the back to school lesson 2. So again, we're going to do a warm up with Bobo. Use your own if you have it. Keep the beat with the music. This is just a fun piece. And you can keep the beat whatever way you want. Model once for the students, then invite them to come and do it. The welcome song is our August welcome song, and there's some extensions here. If you did it last week, this time try some of these extensions. Say welcome to each student in your class and have the rest of the class echo the way you said it. Use a high voice for one student, a low voice for another, and the students echo. I use high, low, quiet, loud, fast, slow, and I keep a beat with this welcoming when I say the hello names. Hello, Jason. Hello, Jason. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Josh. hello, Josh. And I keep a beat, first time with my hands, second time with instruments. And that gives the children lots of opportunity to review if they've done these before, or to learn if this is the first time in a music room, what the different instruments are. All are welcome here. Skip ahead if you did it in August week 1. How to, what if. I can see that the visual didn't work on this one. I will add it in after. The music room rules, week 2. Make good choices. Always be responsible. Read, discuss with your students. Ask them for examples. How can you make good choices? What's an example of a good choice? It's a good choice if you put your hand up when you want to speak and not just blurt out. Here's the alternate storybook. If you have already done All Are Welcome here. The finger play Johnny Whoops is for practicing names. Johnny, 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 Johnny Whoops, Johnny Whoops, Johnny, 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 Johnny. Then you do each name of the kids in your class. Jason, 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 Jason Whoops, Jason Whoops, Jason, 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 Jason. And here's a demo of how it's done. Learn the words to I've Got the Beat. This song was started in August week 1, so it might be review. It might be brand new to your kids if this is your first week. But read the words, have them echo. There is specific choreography for this, but the specific choreography, if it's too much for your kids, just have them basically move the part of the body that they're doing. I've got the beat, and just step with their feet. And I've got the groove and got to move, find another move that they can do. So here's the whole song for them to try. And here's JJ's movements. As I said, if it's a little too much for your kids, simplify. And then we practice with fruit rhythms, apple, 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 plum. And we have a little composing worksheet. You don't have to copy these in color, but these are a nice manipulative way for students to create their own rhythms. And then we sing the song, Wash Your Hands, optional, All About Me, and then Twinkle. That's just to calm them down before they leave the room. And then we sing our goodbye song, Skinnamarink. So that's kindergarten, August week 2. Now I am going to first grade, August week 2. There's our outline, our objectives. We have an editable lesson guide because I've changed quite a bit in here and we haven't updated the lesson guides yet. Animated body percussion to start with. This is a fun beachy theme. Warm up with echo patterns. And this is a lovely Maya doing so me and do patterns. New key this week. Welcome, welcome is our welcome song for August. And skip ahead if you have read All Are Welcome here. If you haven't, read it and sing the welcome song every time those words appear in the story. This is the alternate story, So Me Meets the Boss. If you're looking for the rest of these, they're in listening kits in extras. And then talk about how-tos and what-ifs. How do you enter the music room? Where do you sit? How do you make lineups to leave? How do we walk through the halls? Go through this as quickly as you can. Always doing is better than discussion. But this is really important information. It's awful if in the first week of school, the fire alarm goes off and your kids don't know what they're supposed to do. So going over that before it happens is proactive. Music room rules. I would read these with the kids and then ask them for examples of how they should behave in the music room, how they should act. Make me a circle, make me a circle, make me a circle while I count the beat. 1, 2. I had a class this past year that got it down to where they took like 1 second, 1 beat to get into a circle. Encourage your kids to get faster and faster each time. And so here's the hello circle chant, or I call it the circle name game. Denise. Next child, Jason. Next child, Sarah. It's very easy. If your kids are getting really good at it, have them say their name and then their favorite animal. Denise. Squirrels. Jody. Cats. Another option, I went into a grade 1 class in May and I wanted to know their names, so I did this as an activity to get to know them. The kids echoed. So Denise, kids said, Denise. And it was good because I got 2 practices at that child's name. I have a new song for grade 1s in this. This is a John Jacobson song. It's from his musical Bunnies, but we've taken the Bunnies dialogue out, and making new friends is something that's important in first grade, in all grades. So you can teach the words. So if I go to the next slide, I would read, new friends aren't so hard to take. And they'd answer back, new friends aren't so hard to take. Or I'd sing it to them. New friends aren't so hard to take. And they'd sing, new friends aren't so hard to take. So teach by rote. If you're not comfortable singing, and I'm singing in a much lower key than it's written, use the audio and then have the kids echo back. Here's the entire song. And then we go on to some creating activities. So they practice vegetable rhythms, and then you have the option to have them create with vegetable rhythms. Wash your hands, still important, even though COVID's kind of gone away. The All About Me is optional. You may have done it last week. You may have run out of time this week because there's a lot in this lesson. Song Shall Be Coming Round the Mountain. I would again call this optional. And learn the actions, optional, and then sing, the music time is over, and then follow your procedures to get them lined up and out the door. That's grade 1, back to school lesson 2, August week 2. Now I'm going to grade 2, and grade 2 is updated as well. So I've got a new percussion play along. I love these. That's a nice beachy vibe after the end of summer. Play along with the rhythm. So this one is just body percussion. This one now, this is second grade. I would hope that my second graders can read Ta and Titi, and the animated play-alongs make it quite easy. Do it once and then do it again and decide, do we want to use body percussion with it, or do we want to use some instruments? And you decide with the students' input how to play. Echo solfa patterns. This is the lovely Maya doing so mi do patterns in the key of C. Same patterns we use in Welcome Welcome. So maybe your students can read the rhythms and read the solfa now. The storybook is optional. If you did not do this in August week 1, do it now. If you've done it already, go on to So Me, O, and Romeo. And I will warn you that at one point in this storybook, the cat is referred to as a pussy, and you may have to teach the children that other names for cat are kitty, pussy, and it's only referring to cats. If the kids don't even flinch, say nothing about it at all. Here's the how-tos and what-ifs for your second graders. Again, really important to go over this early in the school year. Music room rules, equally important. Go over this early in the school year, hang the poster up on your wall, and refer to it often. So here's the new John Jacobson song. Let's make friends wherever you go. Let's make friends wherever you go. And then have the kids sing back. You don't feel comfortable singing this to them, you can go on and teach it by rote with the video. And it's going to be a fun little performance.
Let's make friends wherever we go.
So if I was using that to teach, I'd pause it and have the kids sing back. Wash your hands, very important. And an optional complete the All About You worksheet. You can see lots more reading because this is second grade, not first. And then the music time is over. So that is August week 2, back to school lessons. Now I'm going to third grade, August week 2. And again, we have a very full lesson. If you've done some of these things the previous week, leave them out this week. If you don't have time to do everything, pick what's most important. I would maybe try to get down to a wave of kindness and omit the rest. Here's do, re, mi, so patterns with Maya. These are in the key of C. Here's a play along. Again, I would do it once, just clapping. And then the second time, invite the students to suggest other ways that they could do it. Maybe they clap one line, pat the next. Maybe they clap one slide, pat the next. Maybe grade 2s can snap and stomp and create some more variety. Or if you give out instruments, they can do that. Here's our welcome song, and I would hope that 3rd grade can read the rhythms and can read the solfa. It starts on so. The option is to do the all are welcome story if this is your first week, or jump ahead. Here is the ORF arrangement that you can add in to the welcome song or play with the welcome song if you haven't taught it already. Then we go over the how-tos and what ifs. It's just really important information that all kids in your school have. Music room rules, equally important that all kids in your school discuss this and are on the same page. This is an alternate story if you've already done All Are Welcome here, and it's a story about kindness. And because I've included the JJ song Wave of Kindness, this ties in really well to it. It's only 4 minutes. If that goes too slowly for you, speed it up with the gear wheel tool. And then you teach or review, if this is your second week, the Wave of Kindness. And now we've added some choreography to do with Wave of Kindness. And then try singing and moving to Wave of Kindness. If this is only your first week with the song, you might want to leave out the choreography and the sing and move until week 3. I will bring it back in the 3rd week. This is optional because this is a full lesson already, but it's a fun little creating activity where kids can make verses up about what they'd like to bring on a picnic. This is optional. It's a booklet on music and me, and it's optional because 1, not all schools let you photocopy that much, and 2, you may not have enough time to get here. So most definitely optional, and then the music time is over. So that's 3rd grade, 2nd week of August week 2, of the back to school lessons. Here is 4th grade and back to school 2 for August week 2. If this is where you're starting, do as much as you can. And if you are just starting and you don't have time to get through everything, leave out the last 2. So we start with play along rhythms. Again, I would have the kids clap it through once, then do it again and invite them to give you input as to how they would like to perform it. Do they want to stamp, pat, clap, stamp? If you've watched some of the Christian Mejia body percussion, he does body percussion on his chest. He does butterfly clap. So there's lots of options just with body percussion, or choose your instrument. The how-tos and what ifs, very important to go over with your students so that they know what happens. I have had a fire drill in the first week of school, and it's scary for the kids. It's scary for me, less scary if you've talked about it. This is a name game, and I do this name game right from my little 3-year-olds on up to 6th grade, and you can make it more complex. Obviously, littler kids, you go slower. Older kids, we will go faster. And there is going to be another name game in here as well. Music room rules. Now in 4th grade, this is going to be the name game for 4th grade. Here is the music room rules for 4th grade. So now you can see I've added body percussion to this. So make good choices is a stomp. Always be responsible is a pat. Use good manners is a clap. Be nice and be kind is a snap. I'll keep going so that you are somewhat familiar with it. I do this a little bit differently than it's written. Speak when you're called on. Always put your hand up in the music room. Always try your best. So it just seems logical to put my hand up on the word up, and I didn't notate it that way. So I would teach this body percussion slowly and carefully because this is important information. And then when they've done the first 4 of the music rules, you give them care for the instruments and all of the equipment. Very important rule. Now they make up the body percussion to go with this. And you can use that as an introduction and an ending, or you could use it as an ostinato. You choose, you decide. If you're performing, it works better as intro ending. If you're doing it in class time, ostinato is great. Read the lyrics for the song It's All Right. That's going to be an external link. And then you listen to, and by ear, we learn to sing the song. We can't give you print permissions on Musicplay Online. If you wish to, you could open up the lyrics in a separate tab, come back to this, start the music, and then watch the lyrics as the song plays. That's a very simple workaround for the fact that we aren't able to give you the lyrics. What's really, really important with the pop songs is the accompaniment track. I used to pay as much as $50 or $60 for one good accompaniment track of a pop song. We give those to you on Musicplay Online, and you're allowed to download them. So the fact that you don't have the print permissions, you're still saving a ton of money by using the subscription website. So here is Learn the Choreography, and this is actually very simple. It's not terribly difficult. And if you've done it already in week 1, you may be able to skip over that step and go right to singing along while you do the choreography. This is optional if there's time. There's a song Lula. It's kind of fun. The kids in the demo are having fun. I can see smiles on the faces. Optional, complete the music and me booklet, and then your grade 4 lesson is done for August week 2. Let's look at 5th grade, August week 2. I kept the what ifs and how to's and the music rules the same for 4th, 5th, and 6th, but I did put different name games in. So 5th starts with the play along. My same suggestion, clap it the first time, then decide how they're going to play it. I like the music in these. Sure, your students are going to enjoy them as well. Poison melody is fun, a way to get kids singing, and it's not so fearful. Here's our how-tos and what-ifs. Here's the Hello Circle chant. Read the music room rules. And then their song from week 1, and this is a review from week 1, is Listen to Keep the Beat from the movie Vivo. If you did it in week 1, I would still go back and review it. If this is new for you, I absolutely would use the lyrics video, and then you can do the choreography learning with John Jacobson, and then you try the entire song. You might want to wait till August week 3 to try this, and it'll depend a lot on how much time that you have. So I am going to make one change into this module, and I'll make a little note for myself. I am going to need my pen. I'm going to change the name game from the circle name game to jump in, jump out, turn yourself around, because I like that one with the 5th grade. So learning modules for middle school, that was week 1. We're now in week 2, and oh, that's not the right one. It's week 2, not week 24. So we're going to, there's our outline, our I can statements. We've got to play along as well. And 6th grade should be able to do 16th notes. So I included them in here. Clap it the first time, decide what to do the second. Play Poison Melody, and this uses just mi, re, do, but that's good practice for 6th graders. How-tos and what-ifs. Create body percussion for the music rules, same as grade 5. The name game now for grade 6 is a game called This or That. I like this game. It was made up by a teacher I know that's a really strong teacher. So, this or that. Which one's the fact? Share 2 things about you. We will guess what is true, which is true. Good rhythms for grade 6. Tom, ti, ta. Ti-ta, ti-ta, ti-ti-ti-ti-ta, ta, ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta. And then you say 2 things about yourself, and the kids have to decide which one is true. So here's 2 things about me. 1, I love to play recorder. 2, I love eating liver. Which one is true? I love to play recorder. So each child in turn gets to make something up about themselves. I did the song Clap Your Hands from the John Jacobson, and we're doing an external link here to see a performance and lyrics video of it by the group that actually does it. And then we have John Jacobson choreography for it, and then they can try singing and doing the entire song. If they're not singing it all yet, that's okay. They've got 2 more weeks to practice it because I'm going to keep the same song through August. They can play a single game, and that again is optional because you may not have the time, you may not have the photocopying budget to do this, but it's a way to get to know other kids in their class in addition to this or that. So I'm Denise Gagne. That's an overview of week 2, August lessons. Whether you start in August week 1 or you start in August week 2 or 3 or 4, we will have lessons for you. The official song list starts in September, and that's when we'll be following the song sequence that's in Musicplay. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me.